Hello, BookTube. It's a Sunday, but a lot of this video is going to be clips from a trip that my wife and I, Deb, my assistant librarian, Judy, and her husband, Bob. My mom took the kids, and all of us headed down to New York City to spend a Saturday. Good morning, BookTube. We are on our way. It's just about exactly 5 in the morning. We are on our way to a place where we park the car and get on a bus, and we're going to New York City this morning. It'll take us quite a while to get there. 5 o'clock, we won't be in New York till 10 o'clock in the morning, but we're going to meet a great BookTube friend when we're down there. We're going with my co-worker, my assistant librarian, and her husband. We're going to visit a few places. We don't know if we're going to be able to charge the phone, so we'll have to see if we just take still pictures and then I make a video when I get back tomorrow, or if we're able to do some filming. So yeah, 5 hours on the bus. It left. I think it left at the car park about 5:30, and we got into New York City a little after 10. Beautiful day, unbelievably beautiful day. Nice having a bus because then I don't have to drive, I don't have to park, I don't have to worry about all the tactical things that can be stressful. So when we got there, we were met, and we'll put in clips, images, do this thing the best we can. My wife will do it. I don't do it. Deb does it. She helps me with the editing, or she really does all the work. But we met a booktuber, one I've known and talked back and forth with in email and in comments with for quite a long time. Almost 2 years now, I think. Pretty close. And that's, the channel is Earnestly Eston. He was kind enough to stay over in New York a little bit when I told him we were coming, and we're glad he did. Number one, I got to meet him in person, which is always, it's just a great part of BookTube. And he's a great guy. I knew that before. I mean, like I say, I get to talk to him quite a bit. And he helped us navigate, and he knew things we didn't know, which when you're only there for a day, it can really be helpful. He got us through the subway system, the metro. Yeah, there was 5 of us, Bob and Judy, my wife Deb, myself, and then Earnestly Eston. And I was the only one who couldn't use my Metro card right. The turnstile would never turn, and I'm the poor guy on the other side. Yeah. So, but I did wear my Red Sox hat to New York, and nobody said anything. So we went to, we started, the bus dropped us off at Bryant Park. We met up with Earnestly Eston there. We were a little late. He was very gracious about it. The bus got caught in a little bit of traffic. So we went, first place we went was the New York Public Library. I got a couple things. A great library. And again, we'll try to put up some images. But picked up the book bag. Had to have one of those. And that library in New York's only, I think, 5 or 6 years older than my library here in Vermont that I am the director of. And then a package, I don't know if you can get this without glare. It'd be nice if I took my hand off it. A package of bookmarks with various sayings on them. So it's fun, beautiful place, just absolutely beautiful place. Then from there we went to this gigantic book festival. I think it's 9th Avenue, book festival, excuse me, I have books on the brain as usual. Food festival. 9th Avenue, gigantic thing. Block after block. I'll put some images. It's sort of hard to tell how far in the distance these crowds went. The food, the smells, the music, the noise, and we walked. Now, Earnestly Eston and I are of a similar age, but he's fit as a fiddle, I guess, because I I was starting to get a little run down by the end of the day. But from there, we, after quite a bit of walking and food and all that, we wanted to go to the Strand. The bookstore is sort of a bucket list thing with me. So Ernest Lee Eston helped us navigate the metro, and we went to the Strand. And I did get a couple books. The first one is, they have sale carts outside, not on the scale of the Brattle in Boston, but they do have some nice stuff. And my wife actually found this. I did not. This is the Oxford Companion to Archaeology. Anytime you see these Oxford Companions, they're can be a good bet if they're on a subject you like. This is edited by Brian Fagan. I have many, probably right over, I always get this backwards when I do it. Over in here, that's a lot of archaeology books, and many of them are by Brian Fagan. This time he's the editor. So these are articles about various subjects in archaeology, and there's some nice, very schematic maps in the back. There's excellent index, as you would expect. These are all signed articles, so there's a list of authorities in the front of the book, various archaeologists and historians, and they're a quick little curriculum vitae on each of them. So when you go to the article, you know who's writing it. And then they usually have a little bibliography, so they're a little more authoritative than if you went to Wikipedia or something like that. So I'm thrilled to have it. I'm trying to reconstitute my archaeology library, and this is one way to do that. But then we went inside. Huge place, absolutely huge. And I think, let's see, there was a lower level floor, there's main floor, and then there's at least two above that. And I found a book I've been looking for quite some time. If any of you have ever seen the book At Home with Books, it's sort of like a coffee table thing that shows different private libraries. It's a book I love. It's actually up there something, right there. There was a page in there on one person's library where I saw the spine in the books on the shelf of this book. I thought, whoa, I'd like to find that book. That looks pretty interesting. Well, I found it down all the way on the lowest level at the Strand. $15. So the archaeology book in the outside racks was $2. That hardback. This was $2. So that's a heck of a good deal. But this was a little more. It was $15, but I was happy to pay it. I didn't think I'd see it, and so very excited. And it's this, the book. Big old hefty thing. The Story of Printing and Bookmaking, illustrated by Douglas C. McMurtry. It does have plates of different objects through the ages. It's a subject that greatly interests me, and I do collect books about books and the history of printing and typography and all that. So I was very happy to find it. This is a Dorset reprint, Dorset Press in New York, and this one came out in 1989. It's based on a work from, let's see, 1943. So it just illustrated all the way throughout, and absolutely thrilled to have it. It'll take a pride of place on my shelf. So then when we got done, we all went back to Bryant Park. In the meantime, in between here, we'd gone to Columbus Square, we'd gone to Union Square, we went to Union Square Station, which is gorgeous. Where else did we go? We went to Whole Foods to get some lunch, and we hung out on Bryant Park, right next to the New York Public Library. They have an outside reading room, so it's these big pavilion tents, little folding chairs, little round tables, and then carts of books where you can just grab a book and go sit down and read in the park. And they were getting ready to have some Shakespeare, so the little park area was starting to fill up with folks. It was very nice. Again, back, Ernest Lee Eston left us, and we moved from there to get on the bus, and 5 hours back to Vermont, long haul. So we got on the bus, 5 hours back to Vermont. Now, the nice thing is I didn't have to drive, as I said before. And they did make a stop at a rest area each direction so that you get out and get a soda or whatever you wanted. So we got in at about 12:30 last night, and I didn't think I was going to walk again. I mean, I was, boy, we did some trucking. But that woke up fine, so that's a good thing. So thank you to Ernest Lee Eston. I mean, me and Deb considered ourselves friends of his, and we consider him a friend. And he made two more because Bob and Judy really enjoyed his company, and he's a very patient fella. So again, we'll try to add some clips and some images so you can see them if you're interested. And yeah, not a bad little book haul for a single day down in New York City. And thank you, BookTube.